Hey everybody, welcome to The Five, where we spend exactly 5 minutes getting on our soapbox on some of the hottest topics in B2B SaaS. I am really excited today because I'm joined by Mr. Mark Huber of UserEvidence, who has a hot take I think you'll want to stick around for. So Mark, when the timer gets going, get on your soapbox. You ready to go?
All right. So I think the biggest thing that pisses me off as a B2B buyer is whenever I go to a website and I don't see pricing for that company's product on the site. The only thing that pisses me off more is a pricing page that exists that doesn't actually have any pricing at all. And each of the 3 tiers have a talk to sales or something like that CTA. I don't know why, and I hope Evan, my boss, is listening to this because this is something that I've gotten in trouble with a little bit internally at UserEvidence. I want to get pricing on our site. And when I, the buyer, go to these sites and I don't see pricing, what do? I usually just go to the next competitor that has pricing on their site. And oftentimes, if I don't know what your pricing tiers are, how expensive they are, I have a budget in my mind. And if I don't know if your tool is too expensive for the budget that I have, I'm going to go see what other options are out there that might be a little bit more transparent. And I feel pissed off whenever I book a demo with the company that doesn't have pricing on their site and we do the song and dance and then we find pricing information out and it's way too expensive. I've now wasted your time as maybe an SDR and an AE, and then maybe even somebody else. If it's a sales engineer that's on the call, you've wasted my time, however many calls it takes to do the song and dance and get the pricing. It kills me. I die inside. It's 2024. You should not be gating pricing information. I'm going to go ask my friend who has it.
And what I'm hearing you say, which is even funnier, is just well, don't even put the site up at all then.
Evan and Ray suggested well, just put a pricing page up. I was like, I'm not having a pricing page if there's not actual pricing information.
Yeah, if it doesn't have numbers, it's not a pricing page. So how about that? How about that as a litmus test? And you don't have to get into the internal bits of it, but what do you say to folks who say, well, we put the pricing on and it's too high. We don't get opportunities to have a business conversation. What do you say kind of that devil's advocate side?
This is how I went about it at my last company. We were trying to weed out people earlier on in the sales process. And one of the ways that we did that was by putting transparent pricing on the site. And we were a very expensive tool. It was a premium tool in the category. And we didn't want to have tire kickers waste our sales team's time. So in some ways, you just weed out people earlier on in the process. And your sales team is probably going to be happy for that because they don't want to talk to people and waste their time and create a deal that enters pipeline only to find out that this person doesn't have big enough pockets. You want to weed people out as soon as you can.
I joke about it sometimes, and I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, but it's if you broke, say you broke. It's okay. It's okay if you can't afford our product. We're not for everybody, right? So I don't think you'd walk into a car dealership and have a sticker that literally said, go talk to the rep. I don't think you'd shop for anything online on Amazon that would say, well, contact us. Tell me what it costs so I can make a decision. I feel where you're coming from, Mark. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. And oftentimes let's just use MarTech as an example. If you don't have pricing in your site, what am I going to do? I'm going to go talk to one of my marketing friends that may be using your tool and can give me a better understanding of price. I'm still going to figure out what the range is. But if I then find that out from somebody else versus you, wouldn't you want to rather control that narrative yourself?
I would think so. I've heard another one where a lot of times, it's this kind of signal-based selling thing where I'll stand up the pricing page to get the signal that you went there so that I know when to follow up with you. So it's almost like I set this trap to get you. And then once I get you, I hit you up to tell you something that I think you should have found out on your own anyway. So
I'm laughing in total agreement with just how ridiculous that is. We know how to buy, or not even buy a tool, but how to request a demo. The request a demo buttons are littered everywhere on these sites. I know how to get time with you if I want to talk to sales. Just give me the pricing.
Tell me how much it costs so I can make a decision. It makes sense. I like this take a lot, and I think the audience knows what to do. If this is something you want to hear Mark expunge on, go ahead and upvote this as a hot take that you want to extend to a V15. Mark, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate the energy and the passion you have around.
Thanks for getting me fired up. I feel bad for the next meeting I'm going to have.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
You're listening to The Unexpected Lever. For additional resources, check out Vivint.com. Got a soapbox you'd like us to talk about longer? Let us know by messaging me, Jarod Greene, on LinkedIn.